You know much about dreams, don't you? I said with sarcasm. Everybody knows these things, Cesar replied. Roland and I looked at each other. Everybody he knew, maybe, but we didn't argue back. I didn't think that was the right moment. My head was busy with his theory about my affair with his great grandfather, and besides, it sounded incredible. It was beginning to seem feasible. So we don't move forward. Roland got disappointed. We still don't know who are the people of the stone house. We still don't know why they want to kill them, or who. We know who, Cesar pointed out. The so-called Damian, right? I wasn't paying attention to them. If I had an affair with his great-grandfather, where in time would it place me? In the same point, I suppose, except I got pregnant. I was thinking aloud without realizing. Stop thinking about that silliness. He's teasing you. Relan took a shortcut. Instead of focusing in finding an explanation, she wasted time with foolish things like this. Cesar's jaw tightened, making a high-pitched noise as he was sharpening his teeth with a whetstone. I still wasn't paying attention to them. But I couldn't give birth Cesar's grandfather because then his great grandmother. I was analyzing the line of succession. There isn't any explanation. She dreamt about this as well as she could be sleeping peacefully. Excuse me for making an innocent joke, Cesar despised. Not an innocent joke. You intended to, Raylan guessed. Yes, of course, I intended she to make an e-feat of the devil. Cesar laughed. Because if I were his great grandmother, I was counting on my fingers. Relan, his eyebrow looked from the corner of his eye, telling me I should stop the silliness. It was enough. It was a joke, and I should focus on the important thing, on learning who the people the army killed were and how to avoid it. But I was younger. I kept on with my reasoning referring to Froilan's pressures. Then the most likely is that I wasn't I. Probably I was the guest your great grandfather got involved with. I set my eyes on Cesar. Cesar relaxed his jaw, and he even gave a faint smile. Then, at the stone house, I probably wasn't I either. Maybe I was someone that was there, I deduced. And so what? We still don't know who and why, Froilan despised. Cesar came between Froilan and I so I could only see him. He stared at me, his face covered with seriousness. You can go everywhere you want. You can get into everyone's life you want. You need outside stimulus, like when you used the sofa, but if you focus, you don't even need that. Cesar explained as if suddenly he knew everything one had to know about travels, dreams, and the story. And why didn't you say it before? Relan went on the defensive. I thought you didn't know a thing about this. I even remember hearing in some point you didn't mind at all. Who are you? What the hell has to do with all of this? Fräulein despaired, walking in circles. Cesar was looking at me. He almost didn't turn round to listen to Fräulein's reproaches. I also feel like hearing the answer to those questions, but Cesar didn't seem to be willing to please us, probably because he didn't know it. Let's see. If you don't have more pictures, we go downstairs, eat something, and leave. Fräulein managed. You give in easily. Cesar said out of the blue. You could notice on Fräulein's eyebrow he was about to lose his temper. Not easily, not hardly. Fräulein spoke slowly. Or you jump into now, or we leave. The threat was enough to make Cesar leave aside the jokes no matter how innocent they were. I looked at Fräulein, scrutinizing his face, searching for an explanation. Suddenly it looked like they too knew the hand they had, and had decided to lay their cards on the table. And suddenly it looked like I didn't play that trick. Take the pictures out of the place you hide them and start to speak plain, Freeland ordered. Cesar didn't obey immediately. He stood for a moment, staring at us, with no intention, with any nuance. He only stared at us. I'm not your father, he dropped without any reason. On and on, I said, fed up. Sure, of course you aren't. That's it. Let him talk, Freeland ordered again. I'm not your father, he resumed. But I think I know who he is, and I think I know which is the bond between us, and why you came to me. Because of the factory, I cut short. Let him talk. Brillant dragged his words. In my defense, I should say I didn't find it out until now, since I saw my great-grandfather's trunk. Until then, the pieces didn't fit. The story was a nonsense I relived. He rambled. The doctor, sure, she left. This time Fräulein was the one interrupting.